Hi Gemini, welcome to your year ahead forecast with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So before we waste any time, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of Radiant Reality. Thank you so much for your continued support. It means the absolute world. Let's see what 2018 has in store for you. Okay, so I'd just like to bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what January 2018 has in store for you. So, first out we have the Strength card. Beautiful, what a way to start the year off, from a position of power. And the Five of Wands. Excellent. So the Strength card is ruled by Leo, and it's number 8 as well. Number 8 is all to do with acquisition through, or finance through acquisition. But in terms of the card itself, what it talks about is the heart and the backbone. It talks about you really stepping into your own power and finding a new source of strength. So January in 2018 is going to be a time for you to really speak your mind, really speak your heart, but more importantly, get to the heart of the matter, whatever that matter may be, you know. And this is talking very much about where you sit within the group. Why do I say that? Because the Five of Wands is a lot of people talking at any one time. It is communication that happens, you know, lots of people speaking. It's a group of people, a gathering of people. It's just many people talking at once. Now the thing about Leo is, in terms of the Strength card, is it very much puts you at the centre stage. You know, Leo is the lion, it's also the king of the jungle, it's the, you know, ruled by the sun, which is the king of the universe, or the solar system, whichever way you want to paint it. And this very much talks about, you know, living from the heart space, because that's what the Strength card talks about, the heart and the spine. And it very much talks about, you know, putting yourself at the forefront, speaking, you're speaking your true heart, speaking what you really feel, what really motivates you and what you're about. And then, you know, in terms of where you sit within the group, this is about people starting to see you and respect you for who you actually are, instead of who you portray yourself to be. For those of you that have felt like you've had to play a role, for those of you that have felt like you know, certainly in months gone by, you've had to be a certain way or do a certain thing or sound a certain way to fit in with a group. This year that's no longer going to be possible, it's no longer going to be prominent. If you refer to the 2018 numerology video that I've done, you'll get some of the deeper understandings of why. But in terms of your personal outlook and forecast, Gemini, what this talks about is you get into the heart of the matter of who you are in the group, how to interact with the group while staying true to who you are, while portraying who you actually are. The Strength card is a beautiful card because it talks about hidden reserves of strength, strength coming from places within us that we weren't even aware of. And that's, you know, it's amazing. And like I said, you know, the Five of Wands is the group, it's many people talking at once, but it's about you being able to find your truly authentic voice and express that voice within the group without losing your individuality. So, what a way to start the year off. Okay, so February. What does the month of February have in store for you? Okay, the Three of Cups, so reunions, lots of people coming back at you and get-togethers happening. And the Queen of Pentacles, beautiful. Okay, so this talks about you kind of getting back in touch with people from your past. It talks about reunions. It talks about you reuniting with someone. In terms of your personal finances, because the Queen of Pentacles, although she is an earth sign female, a Capricorn, a Virgo or a Taurus, she does represent, as all cards do, an archetype of who we are, or something that plays out in our life. And this is talking about, so February is going to be a really reflective month. You're going to start to remember who it was in your life that gave you grounding and who it was in your life that gave you balance. This could be very much you reuniting with somebody like a mentor, somebody that gave you a sense of how to do life on a practical level in a really good way. Why do I say that? Because the Queen of Pentacles knows how to budget. She's smart, she's dependable, she's hardworking, she's slow, she's relentless, she's motherly, she's nurturing, but not from the point of smothering. She's nurturing from the point of practicality. So this talks about you reuniting with somebody that really gave you a good understanding of how to do life, of how to do certain things. It also talks about, you know, because the Three of Cups is reunions, it's happy times, it's people getting together, it's you finding yourself crossing paths with people that you've known or people that you know, used to hang around with and now suddenly start to become prominent in your life again. And the reason this is happening is because they are coming back around so that you can learn some of what you, or rather remember some of what you learnt from this person or these people. But yeah, February looks like a very sociable month for you, and it centres very much around women. And certainly any older female figures or mentor figures, and for a select few of you, this will be you hearing about somebody of an earth sign, female, that will become pregnant. Somebody that's going to say to you, you know, I'm expecting and I'm going to have a baby. So very, very exciting month, very sociable month for you as well. Awesome. So let's see what March has in store for you. Okay, so the Death card, transformation, changes, endings, and the Nine of Cups. Now this is really interesting because the Death card represents an ending, it represents a completion, it represents something coming to fruition, and it represents something coming to an end, something coming to a close. Now the Death card represents the sign of Scorpio, and it talks very much about the deeper aspects of life: sex, sensuality, psychology, getting to the root and the depth of a matter. Now the interesting thing, because it does represent those things and really getting to the heart of something, you've then got this, which is the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is very much to do with two things in prominence. One, it's your wish fulfillment, something that you've hoped for, some deep desire, because this is what Scorpio rules. It rules your desires, your deepest, most innate held desires, the things that you rarely speak on but hope for beyond belief. And then you've got this, the Nine of Cups, which, like I said, is healing. The Nine of Cups is also to do with wish fulfillment. So two things happen here. For those of you, now I'm not a doctor, I can't give medical advice, you know, but I can give you the energy around a situation and tell you what I feel. For those of you that have been dealing with chronic illnesses, you're going to start to find ways, traditional ways that are considered traditional, you know, not necessarily like, you know, this could be you looking into alternative fields of medicine, so things like herbalism, you know, medical herbalism. It could be you looking into, you know, theta wave energy healing, all of that sort of stuff, but, you know, not so much spiritual healing, but it's you know, branches of medicine that are considered older and more orthodox, you know, going back to the purity of it, you know, to the really deep science of it, I guess. So for some of you, this is a deep desire, deep held desire to have an end to a chronic illness, or to, you know, find some way of coping with, you know, with some sort of ailment that you've had, or finding a way to have that illness or that term or that spell of illness, you know, come to an end. For others, this is about a wish fulfillment of a deep desire. So March is going to bring you, it's going to bring you the end of that want. And what does that mean? That actually, you know, from what I'm seeing here, this means that your wish fulfillment is doubly impacted. That thing that you've hoped for, that you've wished for, that you've put the work and the effort in for, that you've never let go of, Scorpio, you know, with the pincers, that thing that you've never let go of, that wish and that hope, is going to be fulfilled. You will start to see the fulfillment of it around the time of March. A very, very interesting two cards to come up, because a lot of people, when they see the Death card, they're like, oh my god, death, destruction, mayhem. And actually it isn't. It's just, it's transition, it's change, which is unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you see it, the nature of life. Okay, so April. What does the month of April have in store for you? Three of Wands, so travel, and the Hanged Man. So this is really interesting. Over the course of certainly the first 3 months, you may well be planning a trip, you may well be planning several trips, you know, an abundance of trips and ideas of what you want to do and places that you want to go. The interesting thing about this tells me that you will travel somewhere, certainly in the month of April, you will travel somewhere and you will potentially have plans to travel to several places within this month. However, you will end up settling at one of them for longer than expected. Why do I say that? The Three of Wands is the travel, it's the outlook, it's the reaching, it's more importantly as well, it's your ship coming in, you know, it's the finances or the windfall enough to allow you to take the travel that you would like to take. And then you've got the Hanged Man, which is a card of stillness, it's a card of slow down and stop. So this is you taking the journey, and then when you get there, you find yourself, for, you know, some reason, and it doesn't look like a negative reason actually, it looks quite positive, but for some reason you end up staying at this place for longer than you anticipated. So, you know, you might plan 2 weekend getaways, or you might plan to go to 2 different places within the space of a week, and you go to the first place and you end up being there for the entire week. So the interesting stuff that I'm seeing here now as well with the numerology, you've got the Three of Wands, then you've got the Hanged Man card, which is the number 12. 1 and 2, numerology simplified gives you 3. You've got a double hit of the 3 energy. 3 energy is all to do with beauty, communication, expression. It talks about your self-expression, you communicating. This is what you guys are all about, Gemini. It's about communicating who you are, and more importantly, it's about using the surroundings that you find yourself in, which are going to be quite beautiful, I might add. And I kind of see this being somewhere of almost like a tropical kind of climate, because it feels very wet, but it also feels very warm. So, you know, look into that. It could even be you taking a break at a spa or a centre parks, for those of you that know what that is. But this is very much you having the time to go when you get there, and through that you start to really look at who and how you choose to be, and more importantly how you choose to express yourself. April can be a time of really deep healing for you, and actually some serious spiritual insights if you just go with what is. Go with the flow and allow yourself to have the experience that you're having at that moment in time. Okay, May time. This is actually birthday season, and just previously as well. So for those of you that are having your birthday in April or May, happy birthday to you. Okay, so May, the High Priestess, beautiful, especially off the back of the Hanged Man there. Really, really interesting, because it suggests that your intuition and your spiritual path is going to really start to take off in April, but then it continues into the month of May. And then, wow, okay, so then you've got the Tower. Now this is interesting because it suggests that you're going to have some really startling realizations. Why do I say that? So in May, Gemini, you have the High Priestess. She is all things psychic, all things esoteric. She is the intuition, she is the subconscious, she is the first gate that all of us pass through to come into physical manifestation. I could go on about that forever, but you know, she also represents all hidden things being revealed, all secrets. As one of my favourite sayings is, there are 3 things that cannot stay hidden for very long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. And you know, you're very much having this experience. The month of May brings you a lot of secrets will come to light. And through those secrets coming to light, you have this, the Tower card. Now, I'm not going to bullshit you guys. You know me by now. Very much tell you how it is. What I see is what I see, and I tell you, you know, as it comes. And the reason I do that is because I feel you get the most out of your reading that way. Forewarned is forearmed, ultimately. So then you've got the Tower card, and the Tower card is realization. It's when the realization sets in, and you know, all illusions are stripped away. All illusions are, you know, once an illusion cracks, it cannot exist anymore, because you know that you're looking at an illusion. You know, up until that point that your eyes, your mind, your heart, your feelings, whatever are being fooled, that's kind of, you know, that's what you're in, that's your experience of it. But when that illusion cracks and you see the wizard behind the curtain, so to speak, that's when it can no longer fool you. It cannot persist unless you choose to allow it to persist, because you've already seen that it is an illusion. You know, really, really interesting. So through the secrets and the hidden things being revealed, and certainly knowledge, you know, some of this will come from your dreams. I really believe that, especially with the Hanged Man there. So this travel that you take is actually going to lead you onto some kind of very spiritual experience. Once you have that spiritual experience, that's what's going to kind of enforce this, I'm going to stay put. There's obviously more for me to learn here. Then your intuition kicks in. Your dreams will be going off the charts at this time. You will be really taking on board new understandings and new ideas, and that will be largely coming from your subconscious. It's like some switch or some piece of the puzzle. Excuse me, I've got really itchy nose. That happens every so often, and it's usually when there's a big message about to come through. Anyway, then, you know, you've got, like I said, your intuition, your dreams are really starting to speak up. And once this information starts to grace your ears and you start to learn certain things about certain situations that you've been experiencing or living in your life, the Tower comes in. That realization where everything just cracks and you're suddenly looking with brand new eyes at the truth. You know, at the truth and the heart of the matter for exactly what it is. No pretense, no bullshit. Is what it is sort of stuff. So May comes, you know, it's not going to be an easy month, but I tell you, it will be a very transformative, more so transformative than even March. It will be a very, very powerful month for you, because it will be a month where you really, really come into your own in a very, very potent way. So, June, halfway through the year now. Let's see what this time has for us. Okay, so we've got the Six of Wands, amazing. That means that this period that you go through, you know, within May and within April and May, you not only survive it, but you come out the victor for it, and you come out stronger and more powerful. Yeah, amazing. And then you've got this, the King of Swords, which is awesome. So Six of Wands, victory. Success. It is coming home after the long parade, and it's the celebration that happens when you succeed at something. It's the celebration that takes place when you can say, you know what, I've earned my stripes. You earn your stripes by surviving the month of May. And you know, not just surviving, but striving. It's like where a lot of people may well crumble, you're just going to be like, you know what, I can handle this. I can handle this because I have to, and I can see the end result of it. And what is the end result? The end result is your victory. The end result is you coming out on top and finally knowing who you are and what you are here to do in a very, very profound way. You know, I'm speaking really, really big stuff for you. Gemini, and I know you guys are one of the more fun-loving signs. You know, you're quite a what's the word? Quite a, you know, a flowing energy as well. Even though you're air, so you are flowy anyway. But you know, this is last year. I've seen Geminis go through this last year I saw Geminis go through this process of becoming a real contender. This is just continuing that trend. But what happened in this year, especially in the month of June, is that starts to solidify. You start to really see the results of the efforts and the work that you've put in. And you know, the King of Swords, an air sign male, Gemini, this could be you. It could be an Aquarius, or it could be a Libra. You know, when I see it there with the Six of Wands as well, this is somebody that brings you success. This is you finding your success and finding your victory. But more importantly, I really feel like this is you claiming your victory. It's like you go through these periods of deep introspection and, you know, big shifts and big like revelations come into light, and like, shit, okay, that's not what I thought it was. Okay, I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to go through this process of, you know, whether it's grieving or mourning the life that I thought I had, only to realise that I actually don't have that. What I've got is this. Then you come out of it and you say to yourself, bam, okay, you know what? From here on in, now that I know I have a firm foundation to continue to create what it is that I want in my life. Very, very powerful stuff. Okay, so July, middle of summer. Now let's see what it has in store for you. The Devil card, okay, interesting, ruled by Saturn. And then you've got the Temperance card. Now this is really interesting because July brings you this understanding of, you know, it's kind of like I can see this happening in one sort of sweeping trend. It's like unfolding in front of me, and it's actually quite amazing, and also a little bit not unnerving, but just like, you know, to have it so black and white and so bam as it is. So the Devil card represents the things that we subconsciously, that things that we tie ourselves to consciously, that eventually become constricting and they become addictive. Sometimes it's a negative thought cycle, sometimes it's a negative thought pattern, sometimes it's an understanding, a belief structure, sometimes it's a substance, you know, things that we get addicted to because of the hit that they give us. And sometimes it's not even about the hit that that thing gives you or that person. Sometimes you just get lost and you get caught in the understanding of, right, this is my reality. And you forget to look past that and say, actually, it's my reality because I choose to make it my reality. It continues to happen this way because I'm continuing to choose to make it happen this way. This is very much going to highlight to you how you are co-creating your destiny for your own detriment. Because the Devil card, you know, it can actually have some really beautiful connotations, and I'm going to talk about those in a minute. But the more negative aspects of the Devil card is things that we refuse to see, that we've shackled ourselves to. It's like the imprisonment, and we say, oh, I can't handle this situation, I wish it would go away. Well, actually, it can go away, but you're going to have to choose to make it go away. You know, and it very much talks about that. On the other hand, this represents the sign of Capricorn. And it talks about accomplishment, achievement, it talks about making things happen, it talks about being slow, steady and relentless and not backing down. And that's a really powerful aspect if you can tap into that aspect of the Devil card. It also talks about fine wine, fine food, good things, nice things. And I'm actually now getting a feeling of why the Temperance card has come up with this. So in the month of July, it's going to be really good for you to enjoy all of those things. Good fabrics, nice clothes, good food, good people, sensual pleasures, all of that stuff. Absolutely experience all of it. And summer's going to be really hot and heady for you guys. That's what I'm feeling. And it's going to be really important that you enjoy that. However, it cannot and will not. This, what you can spend, touch, taste and see, will never, ever trump the feeling of what you can have when you're truly connected to your source. Because the Temperance card is all to do with your spiritual, it talks about your spiritual connection, it talks about spiritual distillation. And what do I mean by that? It means clearing out your spirit, making it more potent. And you know, it's good. In fact, this demonstrates to me just how you can find a true balance. And which is what temperance is all about. It's about finding that ability to blend all avenues or all things of life, to blend the mind, body, the spirit, and have them all, you know, that's what this person's doing here, that's what this angel, or the Archangel Gabriel, I think it is doing, you know, in mixing these two cups and this different flow of water and these different substances of life. And this is very much what it's about. So if you can have the physical, the sensual experiences and the earthly pleasures, but also understand that it doesn't stop there, that there is something deeper, there is something bigger that governs all of this. You know, if you can really tap into that and understand both levels, you start to really be in a place where you can truly manifest the things that you want in your life and truly be a co-creator. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you can be a real contender in your life for your life. It's no longer steering you, but you are consciously steering it. Very, very powerful month, July, if you choose to let it be. August. What does August have in store for you? Month of Leo. 7 of Wands, defending your viewpoint. So you'll really be speaking your mind. And you will also have opportunities to do so. Not just in the work arena, but I also feel like this is going to be within your love life as well. There will be several suitors that come to you. For those of you that are coupled and happy, this is going to be you speaking up within your relationship and having the opportunity to speak up in your relationship. This is going to be you having the opportunity, you know, your partner's going to declare love for you and to you. But more importantly, you will find that your relationship is a safe enough space for you to say, I don't like this, I do want that, this is what I need, this is what I don't need, I feel like this needs to change, I think that isn't who we are or how I would like us to continue. You know, and it's very much, August is the month where you start to really understand just how much sway you have, and if you can find the right words and the right way to use those words, you can really make leaps and bounds in how people respond to you, and more importantly, how you respond to others. Remember that you do have the moral high ground, because that's what the Seven of Wands talks about. You know, you having the ground, or the literally the high ground. You having the vantage point to say, I would like to implement these changes. And this card, the Knight of Cups, talks about the opportunity or the gift of having that happen. For those of you that are single, this is going to be an opposites attract kind of energy. You will find yourself having somebody declare feelings for you that's really going to push your buttons. This is going to be somebody that really makes you think, somebody that really actually kind of annoys you and makes you feel like defensive. And they're really going to get under your skin. This is going to be somebody that really comes along and just, you know, isn't going to play by the usual rules. In fact, Gemini, I would go as far as saying this time around in August, you will have met your match. You will have met somebody that forces you to, you know, you're already quick on your feet, you're already very witty, really great communicators. This person is going to push you to the limit of that. This person is going to show you that you don't know everything, and that you do need to think a lot to be on their level. This is going to be somebody that's almost elusive, but very, very exciting nonetheless. Okay, so September. Seven of Swords. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is not a great card, and it usually talks about deceit, it usually talks about people hiding things from you, it also talks about, can talk about theft as well, so just keep an eye out for that. And it comes with the Hierophant. Now this is really interesting. Whatever you are doing, whatever work you work in, whatever sort of people or groups that you interact with, it's going to be really important for you personally to play by the rules. If you see somebody else bending them or breaking them, that's nothing to do with you, and it's something that you do not get yourself involved with. Gemini, it's going to be really, really important for you to be seen to be sticking to the rules and the regulations, and for you to be of the understanding and the persuasion that sticking with the status quo is the way to go. Literally that. You know, the sevens are all about endurance. Seven as a number is all to do with how you push past things. It can be a very lucky number, it can be a very intuitive and intellectual and analytical number, and it's a number of, you know, the universal student. The lesson that you will be learning here, certainly in the month of September, is if it don't affect you and it's not happening to you, sometimes it's best just to mind your business. Yeah, just because you see somebody getting into something that isn't good for them, or isn't, you know, what you would consider morally right. You know, obviously if you see somebody in danger and, you know, somebody's life or, you know, whatever is threatened, then, you know, obviously say something. But what I'm talking about is here is if you know, you've got friends or somebody that, you know, does things that are slightly unethical or whatever, do not get involved. It's nothing to do with you. Leave them to it, because if you get yourself entangled, the chances are you will end up having to see it through to the end with them, and sometimes it's best not to get on board a ship that you know has got a hole in the bottom. Okay, October. Let's see what October has in store for you. The Knight of Wands, so lots of passion, lots of excitement, lots of energy. And the Eight of Pentacles. So for those of you that are looking, for those of you that want a career change, October offers you that. October enables you to find something that you're really passionate about, that you're really excited about, something that gets you fired up. You know, we all talk about wanting that sort of job that makes you jump out of bed and say, yeah, this is what I do, and I love it, and all of that. Amazing. But this is the month where you really find that, or you find a renewed zest and passion for your existing job or career. You know, because the Eight of Pentacles is work. It's work, work, doing the work, going to work, being at work, the skills that you have at work. The Knight of Wands is a quickening of that, but it's the passion, it's the excitement, it's the hard work, it's the it's the passion that you have for your work. So for those of you that are going through a career change, or a job change, you know, this is you finding something that really suits you, something that you take to like a duck to water. For those of you that are already in an established career, this talks very much about you finding a renewed vigour for that, and possibly even leading to a promotion. November. Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, really, you know, this burst of energy that you get within your work sector is really going to do wonders for your skills, because it's going to force you, you know, to do either personal learning or to acquire new skills to be even better at the job that you do. And then you've got also, look at that, the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the really interesting thing about this is you've got the 9 here, and then you've got the Pentacle, you know, the Ace of Pentacles, which is the 1. So the 9 talks about acquired skills, it talks about being good at something, it talks about applying those skills and the beauty. And, you know, this is the start of, you know, reaping financial benefits from your job by being good at it and by being valued at it and having renewed passion for it. Oh, I've got this real itch thing going on at the moment, it's getting on my bloody nerves. So that's the 9 of Pentacles. And then you've got the Ace of Pentacles, which talks about the period of a year, but it also talks about something brand new. For many of you, this is either finding the job, you know, the dream job, or being promoted in the job that you already have. And this is a follow-on from the month before. Now, what I really like about this is you've got the 9 and you've got the 1. And then numerology, you know, I'm all about that, guys. It gives you the number 10. The 10 of Pentacles suggests abundance. It suggests the happy home. It suggests security within the home, you know, finances being okay, materials being okay, having an abundance of flow. Tap into that energy, and, you know, during the month of November, that's going to be your time to really put money away if you can. You know, this will be your time to save, because you'll have an abundance of money coming in. And the way to stay in this flow is to continually expect it to happen. And then finally, December. Justice and the Empress. Now, really interesting, because in fact, out of all of the signs, you're the one that's got probably the most double ups of, so you've got April, May, and then you've got July, which are 2 months. You know, May and July are going to be big months for you, because there'll be months where you have, you know, these are fated things happening. As you can see, you've got 2 major cards, you've got 2 major cards. When you get the major cards, or a lot of them, that's fate or the universe working on your behalf within your life. This is stuff that you're not necessarily in control of, that you just have to navigate as best you want, you know. And that's the way that I believe it works. There are certain things in your life that are fated. How you get to those points, or where you go from them, is completely your free will. And that's kind of where the balance and the wiggle room is. In the month of December, you've got the Justice card, which very often represents choice, but it also represents contracts. It talks about signing things, signing documents, For a lot of you Geminis, December's going to be, I know it's Christmas, it's the holidays and all the rest of it, but December's going to be the month where you look for, or rather where you sign on the dotted line for a new home. Gemini, the month of December for your surroundings, signing contracts, you know, the Justice card is signing contracts, it's all things legal, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, making the final decision about the Empress, which is your environment. What is your environment? It's your home. It's where you're the most comfortable. That's what she represents. She represents comfortability. She represents fertility. She represents fertile ground. I mean, it's ruled by Venus, and that talks about comfort and enjoyment and love and all of that stuff. Very, very exciting, because as you're closing the year out and most people are just settling down, you'll be looking to gear up so that 2019 is an even better year for you, and you're in a new space and a new place physically to do that. For some of you, this new finances not only enables you to secure a better home, for some of you this will be you going abroad as well. This will be you finding you in pastures anew, as they say. So then finally, we have your overall key for the year. This is the Luminous Spirit deck, and I absolutely love them. They're stunning. Very, very powerful because they're so simple. Let's see what you get. Justice. Wow. So yeah, the interesting thing about the Justice card is it's number 11, and all to do with, get a good look at that. So the thing about justice is, although it's an external force, although it's about weighing up the options, and it talks about the law and legal matters and closing them up and ensuring that they come to fruition. Very often it talks about the best outcome for all people involved, but also the fairest outcome for all people involved. And when I say the fairest outcome for all people involved, that doesn't necessarily mean what we deem to be fair. It's what the universe deems to be fair. And sometimes those two opinions tend to differ. What I can tell you is that the key for your year is that, Gemini, you have the power to choose. One of the biggest taglines, aside from law and legal matters and all the rest of it, for the Justice card is choice. It represents your power and your ability to choose. 2018, although it's going to be a very interesting year for you, May, July and December will be the most powerful months for you. The really interesting thing is that a lot of this, like I said, although will be happening in your life, you will have a lot more sway than you might even care to admit at certain points. Remember, you always have a choice, and this year you can only choose to do and go and be better. Gemini, it's been an absolute pleasure. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. I hope you have a great 2018. Happy New Year to all of you, and I will see you again very soon for lots more videos. Take care.